better together. You are about to see how Office 365, along with Dynamics CRM, can empower your team to engage more effectively with each other and with your customers. This combined power of customer relationship management with familiar Office tools will help your employees achieve goals across sales, marketing, social, and customer care. We're about to get started, but before we do, I want to let everyone know that we're going to keep all attendees muted for the webinar. Feel free to leave any questions or comments in the chat, and at the end of the presentation, we'll make sure they get answered. All right, let me introduce our speakers. The second half of the webinar will feature John Cassar from WebFortis, the premier Dynamics CRM partner. He will show you how Dynamics has become the best solution for managing sales, customer service, and marketing. But first off, we're going to start with Chris McFarland from INFINIT Consulting, who will tell you what you need to know about Office 365. You ready, Chris?
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Hello, everyone. As Mike mentioned, I will be going over Office 365 with you today. We have a couple slides we're going to go through quickly for a brief overview, and then we're going to hop into the demo so you can see the nuts and bolts of Office 365. So who is INFINIT Consulting? INFINIT Consulting is a West Coast-based managed services provider in the top 1% in SMB for the cloud in the world. We are Microsoft's West Coast Cloud Partner of the Year and offer a wide range of IT services from managed services, which we call Complete Care Plus, to our own custom private cloud called iDNA. Whatever you need, we can help. We specialize in peace of mind for our clients. So let's take a look at Office 365 now. Office 365 provides virtually anywhere access to familiar Office tools you know already, plus enterprise-grade email, conferencing, and more IT services. With Office 365, you can maximize productivity and cut costs by leveraging the cloud to help grow your business. Office 365 includes the latest versions of all the familiar Office applications, including Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and Outlook, for you to use on your PC and Macs. In addition, it provides access to certain Office applications that are optimized for tablets and smartphones. For example, Office for Windows tablets is optimized for touch experience and makes it easier for users to interact, compose their emails on the go. Lync and Onenote for Windows phones as well as iOS and Android operating systems provide rich experience on the mobile phones. For each Office 365 licensed user, you can use Office on up to 5 PCs or Macs as well as 5 mobile devices. There is no use for Office on all your devices if you can't get to your documents. With Office 365, your documents are saved to the cloud by default, so they are automatically backed up. You now have a drive in the cloud called Skydrive Pro for documents that you're managing and working on, but can also share with others. With SharePoint and Skydrive, you'll never lose access to your documents. You usually travel with your laptop, but on the occasion that you ran out of battery, you can work on your documents using Office web apps by logging into your Office 365 account from any browser. Office web apps are now improved to provide you with the full feature experience in your web browser, so you can create new documents and edit them using your favorite browser. With the new and improved web apps, you get more of the same ribbon experience that you're familiar with in installed versions of Office. And more options will be added as Microsoft continues to make additions in upcoming releases. Get updated editing functionality like inline reply and a rich editing experience. With Office 365, you can connect with your customers and partners from anywhere using multi-party high-definition video conferencing, so everyone can interact with each other in a more lively manner. You can also review samples for more clearly high-definition video. Plus, you can easily share your screen so you can walk through a document or presentation during a meeting. Office 365 also supports creating shared OneNote meeting notes during the meeting. This means that with one click you can create one note that everyone in the call has access to and can start typing at the same time. Office 365 helps you establish professional web presence by making it easy for you to use your own domain name as your website address, design, publish, and update your company website using professionally designed templates so you don't have to hire a web designer. With Office 365, you can now share large files with your customers and partners easily and securely. With Skydrive Pro or any other document library within SharePoint Online, you can easily share documents with the preview pane. This preview pane helps ensure the right file you want to share is available. Any external user you've shared the file with can open and edit the file directly in the browser using Office web apps, making this a better solution than any other file sharing website. You can also easily share documents from within each of the Office applications by clicking Share. Office 365 includes business class email and calendaring, so you can use your own domain name as your business address. This works natively with Outlook, which means it won't have any other syncing problems like other email services. Each user has a 25 GB mailbox with the industry's best spam and malware protection. The latest Outlook connects with social networks like Facebook and LinkedIn, so you can see your contact updates from within your contact cards. And so now we're going to hop into the demo. The activities in this demo represent the day in the life of employees at work during an expansion period for the company. Karen, our primary persona in this demo, will work through several scenarios as she connects with her team, is able to make smarter, faster decisions based on data, and most importantly, is able to complete a contract renewal presentation quickly and easily for her customer, Northwind Traders. So like many people, the first thing Karen wants to do when she gets into the office in the morning is check her email. So she logs into Windows and opens Outlook. The first thing you'll notice is that Karen's Outlook looks streamlined and focused. This is because Outlook and all of the other Office applications have been redesigned to focus more on the content and not on the Chrome. However, all the functionality is there when Karen needs it. She can simply expand the ribbon bar.
You will now be placed into conference. To mute your line, press *6. To unmute, press #6.
This idea of making content readily available when Karen needs it, but not distracting her when she's reading through her email, applies throughout Outlook and Office. For example, instead of pinning a calendar and contacts to the right side of Outlook, we can now make it available as a peek. Karen can hover over the word calendar and get a peek into upcoming events. She can even click around from days and months and see different tasks. So as you can see, as we click through the calendar, you can see different meetings that you have set for each one of those days. She can also do the same with people to see her favorite contacts and quickly initiate a search. So you can see, Karen can get rich information about her calendar and contacts without ever leaving her inbox and without taking up space when she doesn't need them. This is particularly important for devices where screen space is at a real premium. So let's dive into message content now. Along with being able to take quick action and having less clutter on her screen, Karen often starts composing emails before sending them. For example, she's gotten this email from Amy Alberts regarding action on an item. The new inline reply feature in Outlook lets Karen compose and save her response right here in the reading pane without having to open a new window. She can type yes, and if she moves on to a new email, it will save it in her drafts folder. So the next time Karen comes back to it, her draft is right there where she left off. The draft you don't have to go searching for the draft in your drafts folder. You can pick up where she left off and send it out when she's ready. If Karen wants to pop out the email as well, she can double click on the email or click the pop out button. This will take the email out of the Outlook inline interface. So we'll go ahead and send that email out. So Karen sees an email from a Renee Lowe, and she must verify a credit card number for an outside employee. She would like to just forward the information on to Andrew and have him validate the number, so she types in Andrew's email address. Let's go ahead and send this out to Andrew. So after doing so, Karen notices a policy tip. Contoso has a policy in place that doesn't allow credit card information to be sent externally, so she's unable to simply forward the email on. This policy tip right here is going to let Karen know that that policy is in place from Contoso. So even if she tries to send out the email, it's not going to work. So Karen sees another email from Julian Isla, the sales director she's working with on Northwind Traders. You can see that there is a button above the email body. These are actually apps showing here in the email, which appeared in Outlook based on the content in the email. These apps are part of a new development model in Office, where any web developer can become an Office developer and easily create these apps using HTML5 and JavaScript. Web developers only have to write the app once for it to work in both the rich Office clients as well as corresponding Office web apps. There are apps for all of the different Office applications, including Outlook, Word, Excel, and Project, and even SharePoint. companies can shop for apps in the Office marketplace as well and create their own custom applications that they develop in-house, like an IT reporting app. So let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. Here you'll see the marketplace where you actually have access to all different apps that different developers have written for the Office experience. And you can download those and have them function within Outlook and Office. So the Action Item app is part of the native apps built into Outlook. Clicking on Action Items button will drop down the app, and it will also show that there's action items within the email that are being pulled directly from the email. These can be made quickly into tasks by clicking Follow Up. In this message from Julian, he asks to have a file added to the team's site mailbox. Site mailboxes bring SharePoint team sites and project-related Exchange mailboxes together, making it easier for teams to work together and stay in sync on projects like this one with Northwind Traders. Here in Outlook, Karen can just drag the attachment she received over to the Documents folder for Northwind Traders site mailbox, and it will automatically sync up to the corresponding team site. Let's go ahead and drag that, and that will update directly to SharePoint. I'll go ahead and take a look at that email. If we right-click on the documents, we can easily jump to the team site and see that the attachments have finished uploading. So let's go ahead and take a look. So here is actually the site mailbox that was linked to her Outlook, and we can see we have all of our different contracts and PowerPoints and PDFs there. Now everybody on the team has access to the latest versions of the attachments from SharePoint without Karen ever having to leave her Outlook. This simple flow makes it easier for the team to stay on top of the latest changes and avoid issues that arise from emailing multiple versions of the same document around. Let's go ahead and take a look at the web experience. Karen can stay within Outlook and have the ability to work with documents directly, or she can have access to those documents directly within her browser. Karen lands on Contoso's homepage. From the top navigation, she navigates to Northwind Traders' account team site. Let's go to Account Teams, Eurasia, and Northwind Traders. She's going to select Documents from the left-hand menu pane. Karen sees a folder titled Northwind Traders 2011 U.S. Agreements document. She clicks on it to access her current documents. Karen is able to see a functioning preview of the contract renewal PowerPoint in the web app experience. So she clicks on Northwind Traders U.S. Agreement Contract Renewal. This is going to open within the browser. The PowerPoint Office web app can be viewed very quickly, but Karen can also edit what she needs. So she chooses to edit it within the browser first. Along the ribbon, Karen can work through Insert, Design, Animations, and Transitions, many of the features that she uses making quality PowerPoint presentations. She can also make these changes to the document using PowerPoint that has been installed on her PC. Whether she's going to make the changes online and have them saved directly to SharePoint or download them directly to her PC, Karen has the choice of with the flexibility of the new modern Office. Let's go ahead and open this in the actual PowerPoint installation. So once we hop in there, we can actually see there's multiple parties in the app already working on the project. So Karen can also Karen can see that Julian is working on the document as well. She didn't receive any errors or notifications for locked files because Karen and her team are able to edit the documents together in real time. Clicking on the icon on the bottom allows Karen to see who is working on the document. Just like anywhere else in Office, Karen's contacts in her buddy list here in Link are rich objects, and Karen can see their full contact card with integrated presence, as well as one-tap or click communication options like instant messaging, voice, or video calling. Either from the card or right here in her buddy list, Karen can start an IM conversation with a simple tap or click, so she can see if she can get real-time response to her questions. So let's go ahead and send Julian an instant message. If Karen wants to have a more interactive conversation with her colleague, or an actual face-to-face experience, she can easily escalate this conversation to voice or high-definition video call with just one click of the mouse. Adding video will also allow her to interact with her colleague directly. So we would go ahead and start this call with a video call, but since we're doing a webinar, that would interfere with that. So if you want to hang around to after the webinar, we can actually do some video calls to show you how that works as well. But simply, she could hover her mouse over a video and start a video, or actually call Julian directly. And Julian's letting us know that he actually made some changes to the slide deck. So Karen would also like to share her desktop with Julian, so he can see the contract as well. Link allows Karen to present her entire desktop or just a particular program, present only PowerPoint, create a whiteboard for a brainstorming meeting, or even take a quick poll of Link call attendees. If Karen wants to have a more collaborative session, she can easily go ahead and add others to the video call. She can simply drag and drop them into the conversation and invite them to the call, and they can accept with just a click. Karen can have a rich experience sharing content, but can also have just a quick discussion and enjoy video conferencing capabilities with HD. Karen and Julian can complete their conversation about changes being made and close the call to get on with their work. Karen can now immediately see that updates are available down here on the bottom. It lets her know that Julian has finished working on the document, and she can quickly sync those changes to see what the work is done before she changes. So we can see that Julian's actually made some changes to our document right here, and we can go ahead and save these, sync it to SharePoint, and then go ahead and close out. So let's go ahead and get back into our SharePoint document. So we'll go ahead and navigate back to Northwind Traders with Account Teams Eurasia, Northwind Traders. Let's go ahead and hop into our Documents folder. And so Karen is back within the team documents and wants to be able to have these documents offline on her machine. She can quickly sync these to her machine with the button up here on the right called Sync. And it'll automatically have those files securely downloaded and accessible from any of the devices she chooses to sync it with. Karen can now see that her documents have been synced to her devices after she clicks the Sync button. And her Skydrive Pro is synced with her files on her desktop as well. So let's go ahead and hop back on the intranet. Karen now receives information about another available account team with Northwind Traders. So she clicks on the Northwind Traders logo to return to the Northwind Traders homepage. On the main page of their site, Karen starts by reading through the news feed. Here in the news feed, Karen gets a rich activity feed that helps her keep track of what her colleagues are doing and get instant feedback on documents she's working on. She can like different comments. Go ahead and click like on this comment from Kelly Crowd, and ask questions and tag posts so that discussions are instantly discoverable and a rich social linking to SharePoint profiles. So let's tag a couple people. We're going to go ahead and tag Dan Jump. We can tag multiple people here, and let's go ahead and tag Eric Gruber as well. So they're both going to get notifications that within the newsfeed for Northwind Traders, there's some conversations going on about a presentation that Dan Jump and Eric Gruber did. She finds a post by Kelly Kraut very interesting and decides to follow Kelly. So let's go ahead and click on Kelly's profile. So we can actually follow Kelly, and then when Kelly posts about Northwind Traders, we'll actually receive update notifications. So there's another place on the site that she thinks may provide more insight about the partner. There's a list of categories under account discussions. Looking through these, Karen believes that the category partner relations may have some good information about what kind of partner Northwind Traders is. So she clicks on partner relations and views all the discussions relating to this topic. She notices on the right that there's a list of top contributors. Molly Clark is one of the top contributors for their site. Karen clicks on the first discussion, Northwind expansion plans. Reading through the various posts, there are a couple that stand out to her. David So and Molly Clark seem to think highly of Northwind Traders, so Karen is hopeful that it makes sense to renew the contract and keep them as a valued partner. Karen hovers over account teams and goes to Eurasia for Northwind Traders again. She clicks on reports on the left navigation pane. This is another document library. Within the reports library, Karen clicks on the ellipsis, and the sales analysis Excel sheet brings up some information. She can click Edit to open this in Excel. We actually have this loaded right here. So once Karen loads this from SharePoint, she can go ahead and click on the Northwind Traders slicer to isolate data for just Northwind Traders, because this is actually an interactive spreadsheet. So because this is interactive, when you click on different parts, sometimes it will sync up with SharePoint just to make sure there's been no updates to the document. With the worksheet now displaying just data for Northwind Traders, they notice that the total sales by region scorecard, that Northwind Traders US market is green with the indicator, with sales actually exceeding the target. However, in the India market, it's red at approximately half its target down here. So Karen clicks on the Sales Analysis tab to investigate why they're missing the targets in the India market. Go ahead and click on Sales Analysis. So she wants to look into India specifically. So we can actually click here on this map. This is an interactive map, and click on India. And it's going to isolate data within Excel just to the India market. So we'll go ahead and let that sync. And now you've seen each one of these graphs is updated with just information from India. In the right column, they see that sales amount for the deluxe and economy and regular lines of products that Northwind Traders sells. But this graph is not particularly useful, as they want to look specifically at sales and deluxe lines. So Karen hovers her mouse over the upper right-hand corner of the sales graph to reveal the filter icon and display available filters. So right here we can see this little filter icon. We're going to go ahead and click on that. So she sees the filters based on the information she wants to look at, which is the only the difference between deluxe and economy lines. So we're going to go ahead and click on class name and just select deluxe and economy lines. Now we've filtered out the information we want to see. So with these filters applied, they can clearly see that the deluxe line has fluctuated wildly in sales over the past year and has been in steep decline over the past 3 months, with sales of the economy line and have been more consistent and are generally trending upward in the last few months. It might be time to take action and make this deal with Northwind Traders to help drive the right business for their partner. Karen has what she needs to move forward with this customer plan. So now with the data, Karen needs to make her decision and really target her customer properly. She can be confident that she has the backing from her whole team, has a great view of the customer profile, and can move forward with the contract and presentation with confidence. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this demo. And we'll go ahead and hop back into these slides. So there are many different options and plans with Office 365. As a top Microsoft Cloud partner, we guarantee to help you find the plan that fits your company's needs. We specialize in one-on-one consultation to help you find the best way to bring your business to the cloud. With over 500 companies and 6,000 end users migrated to Office 365, Infinite Consulting knows what it takes to make your move successful. If the advantages of Office 365 are something you'd like to talk about today, there are incentives for moving quickly. With Microsoft's Cloud Easy offer, you receive money back for each Office 365 license purchased, money to use towards additional software and services. This offer expires May 31st, so if you're interested in taking advantage of this offer, feel free to reach out to Infinite following today's webinar. If you would like to try out Office 365, we can set up a time to consult with you and make sure your environment meets the requirements to make the shift. Please feel free to email us directly at info@infiniteconsulting.com to set up a meeting with our team. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and hand this off to John with Web Fortis, and he's going to talk to you today a little bit about CRM. John?
Oh, everyone should be hearing me. This is John. So let me share my screen as well. Hopefully you should be seeing my screen now. Alrighty, well thank you very much. So my name is John Cassar and I am with Web Fortis doing the second half of this webinar in regards to looking at Microsoft CRM for your CRM solution. And for all of you who might be new at looking at, or what is CRM? CRM certainly simply stands for Customer Relationship Management. And before going through the slide deck, it's real simple. It comes down to every business has some kind of customer relationship management application. Could be Post-it notes, could be Excel, it could be Outlook. But as you grow your business, having everything, your customers and prospects, your communication with your customers and prospects, all in one place is really imperative for your business to continue to thrive and grow. And that's really what a customer relationship management application does. So I thought I'd start off that at a high level. And in regards to my personal background, which I think is important, especially if you're looking at competitive products like Salesforce and Sugar, and they're all out there, but I certainly realize it, and those products have their strengths and weaknesses, is that my background is I've actually been selling and servicing customer relationship management applications and multitudes of them over the past 15 years. And most recently, before coming to Web Fortis, I worked for a Salesforce implementation partner implementing Salesforce for the last 6 years. I'd left that company to come to Web Fortis for a number of reasons, but one of the biggest reasons is the product of Microsoft CRM versus Salesforce. At a later time, I will give you my contact information so that you may contact me directly if you want to know why did I make such a switch from Salesforce to Microsoft CRM. I'd be happy to share that with you. So who's Web Fortis? Figured you should know who we are if you're looking at Microsoft CRM. We are a Microsoft CRM only partner. We do not implement Salesforce, Sugar, or the rest of them out there. We've got 40 consultants, all certified, supporting 350 customers and 4,000 users. And most importantly, we wrote the book on Microsoft CRM. I know it's difficult to see, but those little orange boxes are actually books that you can buy on Amazon and are a bestseller in its class, since I realize no one reads tech books for a bestseller in general. Go to the next slide here. So similar to your doctors, attorneys, dentists, mechanics, painters, etc., there are a number of Microsoft CRM partners around the country, and none of them are all equal, including us. So what separates Web Fortis versus anyone else out there you may be speaking with? Well, if you're looking here at this chart, there's a subscriber, silver, gold partners, managed partners, and then Web Fortis in a class of its own. So we have the basic exams. We are a gold level partner, of which there are hundreds of them throughout the country. And then there are tens of partners that are managed partners. But when you start looking at truly experts between the books, multiple awards, MVP awards from Microsoft, published knowledge bases. One of our case studies for Jelly Belly is one of the top case studies on Microsoft's website. The books that we've written, and most importantly, the technical adoption program, which allows Web Fortis to get its hands on the application prior, new releases of Microsoft CRM prior, 6 months prior before its release. How that benefits you as a customer is saying, well, we're thinking about doing X, Y, and Z, or integrating with this product, and we might say, you know, that's coming in the next 6 months. You may want to wait and save some investment dollars before you do that, and other helpful hints. So that's one of the benefits of working with Web Fortis, and the others, of course, are just our experience. Some of our clients you'd recognize, a little spattering of customers. And for those of you who like sugar and caffeine, well, there's Jelly Belly and Pete's Coffee. And for those of you who really like fine wine, you've got E&G Gallo, and they do have some fine wine, as well as Opus One. So a couple of suggestions in terms of looking at CRM systems. How do you pick one? because you're about to spend a bunch of money, so how do you make sure it's the right one that your team's going to use? So first and foremost, it's got to be familiar to them. What is it like the tools they are using every day? As you'll see here with Microsoft CRM, it's integrated very tightly with Outlook. It's got to be intelligent, intuitive to use. Again, bringing up the user adoption, because without user adoption, any money you spend will not receive a return on investment. And lastly, depending upon where you go, you may want to have it connected to other database systems like an accounting system, a marketing automation system, a broadcast email system like a Marketo or a vertical response or constant contact. That's really the best way to pick any CRM system. So why Microsoft? Why do people choose Microsoft versus Salesforce versus Sugar, all the rest of those that are out there? Simply put, easy to use, easy to configure, the integration with Outlook. And for some of you on the call, you might say, you know what? These other products are integrated with Outlook. And you would be correct. However, when push comes to shove, there are always grades of Outlook integration, and the Outlook integration with Microsoft CRM is superior, and that's one of the reasons I left selling Salesforce to sell Microsoft CRM. Integration with Excel is amazing. Integration with other systems is available, and the value in terms of the cost of Microsoft versus the cost of other systems. In terms of what the overall research and research analysts say, if you notice the square boxes, Microsoft is always to the top right, which is generally in the area of better products as opposed to some of the ones that are in the lower left quadrants and what have you. And in terms of what the market says and why do you want to look at Microsoft CRM, I love the number. Microsoft CRM delivers an average return on investment of 243%. Going a little further, 2 million customers, 80 countries, 30,000 customers, small to medium enterprise, the data centers, the different languages. Last slide here. Some of you are looking at Salesforce. It's a very good application. It has some of the same components as Microsoft CRM. The difference is price, and I realize price is not everything, but if you're getting leads, accounts, contacts, activity management, opportunities, cases, and campaign management, which are available in both products, why is Salesforce 3 times as much money, $125 per user per month or $44 per user per month for the same set of functionality in Microsoft CRM? And of course, the integration with Office 365 and SharePoint makes Microsoft CRM a truly amazing value. Okay, so with that, I'm going to jump into a short demo here. And I'm going to start off in Outlook, since many people are, using Outlook day in and day out. And what I'd say is that all the CRM products out there in the marketplace have their pros and cons. Microsoft is no different. However, each pro and con, some products might be stronger in one area and weaker in another, and vice versa. So I'm going to start off by showing really where all of Microsoft's strengths are. And if you are an Outlook user day in and day out, which many people are, then this is really an amazing application. So I'll start off by, if you notice, I've got my Microsoft, this is Office 2013, by the way, toolbar across the top. And if you notice, a couple things you'll notice here. Right over here to the right, there's a inserted ribbon, and this is talking about tracking emails, setting them associated with opportunities, converting emails to opportunities, leads, or customer service issues right off the top. All right here is available within CRM. if you notice on the left-hand side over here, I can actually open up the application right within Microsoft Outlook. I can actually open up my dashboards. I can look up my accounts right within Microsoft Outlook. Here are some of my accounts. Here's a quick preview of the accounts. These are all the active accounts in the system. These are only my active accounts I'm looking at, and these are user definable so that I can choose from different queries to immediately see what's going on. And I can do the same thing with opportunities as well, all the opportunities that I'm working on, etc., or cases. So tightly integrated. I can go back to my inbox, and if you notice right here, we also have a menu item that says CRM. So I can add activities, I can do emails, phone calls, I can schedule all this. And for those of you who are road warriors, who are traveling quite a bit, Microsoft CRM will synchronize your entire data set or a portion of it directly to your Outlook so that you have access to this when you are offline by looking at this Go Offline, which is really good for a lot of people who are road warriors out there who don't have an internet connection all the time. So a couple things here while I'm still in the Outlook interface. So much of communication today is in email, and many companies are suffering from email overload, being basically BCCing, forwarding everyone out there, everyone on the team. So what's really better to do is simply to log the email directly to records in CRM so that everyone can see. So here I've got this email from John Kassar. I sent it from my test address. And if you notice here, this is not tracked at this point. So I'm reading this email, and you know what? This is a pretty important email. I want to link it to John Kassar's record for everyone to see. I can click on track, and now it turns into untrack. But look what happened over here within my Outlook. I've got these two little people, which means this email is now within CRM. If I delete this email from my Outlook, if my email just completely blows up, no problem. It is all still contained within Microsoft CRM. Furthermore, down here it says this email is being tracked. John Kassar means it's linked. If you have multiple people, it will also link to their record if you've been CC'd on the email. And this just says this record hasn't been created in red. It's saying, hey, I don't have a record for John Demo. We need to create one. So very, very intuitive. Moving forward, let's say, actually before I do that, let's reply to this email. And because I track this email, once I reply, let me go to my pop-out here, if you notice, it is still being tracked, and now it says untracked. So because I track the inbound as being important, I can now send out an outbound, and it's automatically going to track that outbound email, which is really great. Let me do something else here, which is quite helpful. I'm going to do a new email here. And I'm going to go down into here, and I'm just going to say, I want to track this email. I know it's going to be important, but I'm a sales guy, or I'm a marketing guy, or I'm a customer service person. Either way, I can insert an article if I'm a customer service person. Okay, I don't have any articles listed. I can attach sales literature if I'm a salesperson and you develop your sales library. Or more importantly, I'm going to send an email template. And I'm going to say, okay, well, which one? Contact reconnect. Okay. Haven't heard from you. Dear John Kassar, we've not heard from you in a while. Blah, 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 blah. Send. I'm a salesperson. On to the next. That was a single email. However, I can also do a broadcast email to a group of records within Microsoft CRM from a marketing standpoint. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay. So I'm going to continue on through the Outlook integration a little bit more. Let's go up here to CRM, and I want to create a new phone call. Okay. And I'm going to say, well, who am I going to create this new phone call for? John Kassar. I didn't put a phone number in here, otherwise it would have been in here. Via phone. Everyone can see how well I type, of course. And I'm going to schedule this for the 23rd, and I can save and close. Outlook and Microsoft CRM synchronize in the background can be set to every 5 minutes. Tasks, appointments, contacts, and emails on demand. They synchronize flawlessly as opposed to other CRM applications. I can tell you we only set up a unidirectional synchronization, not a bidirectional synchronization because of all the challenges that were out there. Microsoft's bidirectional synchronization just works. Let me go back home here. Let me go to my contacts here. Let's say you have a contact that you want to add into CRM. Joe Lawrence. Okay. Simply put, Joe Lawrence is actually already tracked, but I would simply press the track or untrack button, similar to emails. So that's a little bit about the Outlook integration. Let me go down a little bit more and dig down even more. So again, if you're using Outlook every day, your users never have to leave Outlook. However, if they wanted to, and it's really a choice, some people like multiple windows, so I'm going to Alt-Tab, okay, and I'm going to go to Internet Explorer. And here in Internet Explorer, I can open up the full browser. It's a browser page, and I can also open it up in Firefox and Chrome if I wanted to. So the nice thing about the full browser, you tend to get a little more real estate on the right-hand side of the screen, whereas in Outlook, if I go to my opportunities, I don't have quite as much real estate. So it is really a personal preference on how your users want to work. So here I've got AdventureWorks, and I apologize if this is a little small here. Let me increase this a little bit. All right. So if I want to look at AdventureWorks, I'm like, who is this account? I can double click, and I am brought right to AdventureWorks. And for those of you who have not used CRMs in the past, essentially the fields up here, I am profiling this account however I need to. And what I mean about profiling is if I scroll down, if I look at relationship type, who are they to me? Are they a customer, a prospect? Who are they, so that I can market to them appropriately? I might want to put a short description of the company. And I can scroll down, and maybe I can put them in a particular industry, number of employees, however you want to profile your customer or prospect. This can all be done. Okay? I'm just going to press save here. And similar to Outlook, we have some navigation here on the left. So I'm like, I wonder who some of the contacts here. Oh, we've got John Kassar, and I can add new contacts again. You have the ribbons throughout the application similar to your Office application. I can add a new contact, add an existing contact. I'm going to look at John Kassar's record. First name, middle name, last name, title, what address is he at? We've got home and Skype. For those of you who use Skype, as you may know, Microsoft purchased Skype. Microsoft also has Lync, and Microsoft also purchased Yammer. Yammer integration is also available. Skype integration is coming, and Lync integration, which is what we're using for this conference call today, is also available out of the box. If I want to profile John, what department, what's his manager, what's his role in the organization, okay? So that should he be on a mailing list? Let's scroll down. Should he be on an email list, phone list, mail list, bulk email? So that this way you can market to these people as appropriate. So in other words, show me all companies that are in this state, in this industry, and the people that whose role is decision maker. Let's grab that list, do a broadcast email. That is available out of the box. And going down a little further, for some of you who, again, are not too familiar with CRM applications, I can look at all of my closed activities with John Cassar and who made them on my team. I can look at all follow-up activities. If you notice, this was the one we scheduled, follow-up via email on the phone, follow-up via phone for the email. That's all here. This rolls up to a calendar, this in CRM, and it rolls up to your calendar and task list in Outlook as well. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm going to go back here just for a moment, and I'm going to look at some dashboards, and I love these dashboards. So in many ways, management, if we have any management on the phone, or even users, management loves reports. What's going on? Where are my opportunities? When are they going to close? For those of you who are salespeople, you may hate doing forecast reports or drive-by reports or appointment reports. So I would say to you is, you will never have to do one of those reports ever again. If you put the data in CRM, which will help you individually in your sales and marketing efforts, as long as you put the data in CRM, if management ever asks for reports saying, I don't know, did you go look in CRM? Because I'm sure it's there. It's probably on some dashboard. And management, you get these reports through these dashboards or reports that can be emailed to you on a daily, weekly, monthly basis automatically without any human intervention. And that's the benefit, where everyone keeps doing what they need to do for the organization, whether that's sales, marketing, or customer service, to move the organization forward. What I also love about these reports is, these are closed, these are proposed, there's $19 million in proposed. I wonder who these are. And I can furthermore drill down into who are these accounts that make up that proposed. And here they are. It's kind of tough to see the full name, but you can actually see the different deal sizes there are that make up that 13 million in proposed. So these dashboards are completely drillable down. There are multiple dashboards available. They are user customizable as well. I actually like this one, sales and activities. I can look at my pipeline by various reps in my organization if I'm a manager. I can look at all the activities that people are doing. These are hyperlinks which will jump me to them. And I can look at all closed activities. Are people doing enough activities to generate sales? Okay. And these dashboards are also available for customer service, marketing, and opportunities, which we looked at earlier. So hopefully that makes sense. I think without going into a lot more, I'm just going to go into the service area. For those of you who have service accounts, you can have goals, you can check on products, services, and you can log customer service issues. I don't have any cases, but I can look at all the active cases in the system. And going further, for some of you who have cases and customer service issues, you can also say, have the system, say, give me a list of all customer service issues that have been open for more than 48 hours. And if they are open for more than 48 hours, escalate it to a manager, send an email to the person in charge of that case saying, how come it's not closed, to make sure that things do not fall through the cracks. Part of winning more business from a sales aspect is also ensuring that your customers are serviced extremely well. So hopefully that makes sense. And that's embedded in the application. Again, the 3 components to the CRM that are standard are sales component, a marketing component with campaign management, and a customer service case tracking component. So hopefully that helps out in reviewing Microsoft CRM. So with that, that is a high-level overview, and I unfortunately did not have a slide set up for my contact information, so I'm going to put it down right here for all of you to call. And let me format that a little larger so that people can actually read this. Font, go to 18, why not? Hopefully people can read that. So if any of you have any questions on the CRM front or would like to know why I left to selling Salesforce to selling Microsoft CRM, or an overview of multiple CRM applications and some resources, we can definitely, I can definitely show you that, and at the same time share with you again why I selected Microsoft out of all the products that as a salesperson I could be selling. So with that, I'm going to turn it over back to Chris for questions.
Okay, great. This is Mike, actually. Thanks, John, for that presentation. That was fantastic. And yeah, we do have a few minutes for questions. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the chat. I did get a couple of questions sent over to me. John, maybe I can ask you one first. Got a question about migrating from other CRM solutions to Dynamics. Is that difficult? Is it easy? Are there options there? What's the deal there?
Sure. As part of the implementation, we work with you to decide how much data from how far back needs to be migrated over. So it all comes down to developing a plan. And in terms of migrating data, depends what application and how ugly or clean your data is, because if you migrate it and spend the time to do it up front correctly, it will pay off in spades with your sales and marketing team to actually do it. So yes, it can be done. It is a process to get that done.
Okay, great. And then kind of the same question for INFINIT, and maybe either Jade or Chris can take this. If I got a question from someone who says they're on a system, maybe it's Google Apps, maybe it's just a regular IMAP email provider. Are there options? How easy, hard is it to migrate from one of those systems over to Office 365?
Thanks, Mike. That's actually, we get that one a lot. We've done a lot of Google Apps migrations. Yes, it is possible. There's a few extra steps that are required, but it's 100% doable. Some of it depends, again, on how the data exists, how clean it is, if it's dirty, how long it's going to take. But with regards to, is it possible? Yes, it's 100% possible, and there's multiple different ways to achieve those for both IMAP and just Google Apps. Okay,
great, thanks. Got another Office 365 question here. You show different plans available that Microsoft provides. Is it possible to bundle different Office 365 plans together? Maybe there's some employees who need more of the sort of features of Office 365, and maybe some need less. Is it possible to sort of mix and match those together? How's that work?
Yeah, this is also doable. It's kind of confusing if you go look at the admin portal or just the the different SKUs that are available, just because there's so many of them. But yeah, that's definitely doable. If you're trying to mix it all the way down just to an Exchange level, like, okay, I want this user to have mailbox only access, and I want this one to have, mailbox or Exchange and Link and, all the other, SharePoint. That would want to be, you'd want to be on an enterprise plan for those levels. But yeah, you can mix and max those, on an individual user basis. So that's 100% doable as well.
Okay, great, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
So you got another question. I guess this kind of applies to both. Maybe we'll start with Office 365 first. Is it possible to use Office 365 on another platform? They're looking for Macintosh support along with Windows. What's doable there?
Yes, this is Jade with O365 with Infinite. Yeah, this is doable on a Mac, and actually the Office version is actually also supported. So Office 2011 for Mac would be something you would gain access to from this, and then that would fall into the same licensing. So if you're on a subscription that comes with Office, that would be usable on your Mac, and you would be able to use that because of the type of licensing it is. It's home use rights with SA. So each individual user could have Office on up to 5 individual machines. So say a work desktop, maybe a laptop, and then a home Mac. And then they could install Office on all 3 of those, or up to 5. And then the way the SA works is if, currently we're on Exchange 2013, which comes with Office 2013, as any new versions of Exchange and Office, SharePoint, etc. come out and become available, you would automatically gain access to that through this subscription.
Okay, great. John, is there any support for Dynamics for other platforms like Mac, or is it strictly a Windows solution?
Great question. So the answer is Microsoft CRM works on multiple browser applications. So you have Safari, Firefox, and Internet Explorer, and Chrome, excuse me. So obviously for Mac, there's no Internet Explorer, but it will work on the other browsers. And the Outlook integration, since most Mac users are not using Outlook in the native Mac interface, they're using some kind of Mac mail or Gmail or some other browser type mail. We, as WebFortis, have written some custom integration that will work with any email client to integrate emails into CRM. And that's, again, one of the benefits of working with WebFortis. And one thing I did forget to mention, it's outside the question, but maybe it's a question that's there, is yes, Microsoft CRM is available through various handheld devices, being your phone and or iPad, and it is available as long as you have a web connection. That is included in the licensing. And for enhanced handheld access, there are some third-party providers that are out there.
That's great. And just as a side note, I actually connected to this link meeting through the web app. I'm not using the client. I'm actually on a Mac using the web client, and it works great. It's amazing. So just throw it out there, a little personal experience. Any other questions that people have in the webinar? We've got a couple minutes left for either John or Jade about Office 365 or Dynamics. Well, I want to thank everyone for joining. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to John for anything Dynamics related. You can see his info there being presented. Any questions about Office 365, please visit us at infiniteconsulting.com. We have trials available there for 30 days where you can use all of Office 365. So thanks again for joining, and this will conclude the webinar.